Please keep your finger to verse 7, Doc, so I might ask you to repeat that again. That's chapter 4, verse 7 of Genesis. Okay, this is it. Welcome to the journey. Welcome to the next 31 weeks of going through the Bible. Hopefully you've picked up your copy of the story, and you have that. And the way it works, this is week 1, so this is lesson 1. You'll read lesson 1 for today. Next week is lesson 2. It's week 2, and you will read lesson 2. And the week after that, okay. Excited. This is good news. This, created in the image of God, is to be creative. That's what God does. God creates. And hopefully during this time, you will do a Lectio Divina study, and you'll reflect on the Word and how that Word is speaking to you. And that Word may speak to you through music. It may speak to you through art. It may speak to you through poetry. It might speak to you through service. What is it that God is creating new within you? That's a great question. That's a lot of fun. So please allow the Spirit to stir things up, to agitate you like a good Maytag. Just agitate you and get you going. Okay? Let it do that. Get into it. You'll study lesson 1 Wednesday night. Is that correct? Okay? Probably. Good. All right. If there's no snow. What has spoken to me in the last week or so of working with this is something creative, and I'd like to share. I'm not a poet, but I'm going to share this with you because that's what's come to me. And hopefully, you will be able to do the same on Sunday morning or in the class. Just bring forward what it is that the Lord is speaking to you. Eden to light, darkness into light, a perfect beginning, ruined by sinning. The return is always in sight. A bridge back to the garden, where love reflected upon the waters and brought forward Adam, then Eve, and a snake to deceive, punishment just to receive. Yet, God showered them with love, filtered through the leaves, discrete packets of light, beam and particle, contradictions. To go forward, we must go backward. Retreat and recreate. Heaven's first kiss, eternal bliss. This time, the background hiss ignoring, and stroll with love's perfection. Delightedly, soulfully, humbly stroll in the cool of the morning. No criticism, please. Or that's fine too, I don't care. Okay, so hopefully with you, and that's really nerve-wracking. So hopefully you'll have a chance to let the Spirit speak to you and what the Spirit might create through movement, through being grounded in Tai Chi or Zumba, and how you proceed. But please do take that time and let the Spirit reform and renew and make you anew. Cain and Abel. Interesting story, isn't it? So, why did God refuse Cain's offering?
Was not blood.
I hear voices.
It wasn't a blood sacrifice.
No, it wasn't blood sacrifice. That's right. Cain was a farmer. Abel was the one who tended the field. It was a blood sacrifice, yeah. Could be. Even though we don't know what the sacrifice was for. I mean, blood sacrifice of 7 sacrifices, that's one specific one, and grain offering is another one. So it could be that Abel had the fat of the animal, and God liked the smell of that barbecue, and said, okay, I'm going to take that one. But it seems to me, and if you've read that, have you ever thought that how unfair that was? Did that strike you as just arbitrary? Why would God take one and refuse the other?
There was jealousy involved.
Could have been. Yeah. Cain was the one, God gave Eve a man. Cain. So as the firstborn, he probably had it all going on. Best camel, best, whatever it might be, whatever else. Whatever it was, Cain was the one who was praised. Abel was born later, and it just mentions, yeah, Abel was born later on. Blah, blah, blah. So here's Cain getting the best of everything, and it could be jealousy. Yeah. On whose part?
Cain.
Who would he be jealous of? Oh, because he didn't get the sacrifice, because he always gets it.
Yeah, he was jealous of Adam.
Of Abel. Yeah, that true. That too. That too. Could be. Could be. As I read it, now, verse 7. Somebody repeat verse 7 again, please.
Ready?
Doc, yes.
If you do well, will you not be accepted? And if you do not do well, sin is couching at the door. Its desire is for you, but you must master it.
What a great image. Here is sin. It's crouching or it's hiding in the doorway, and it's just ready to jump on you. It's just ready to get you. You know, and in Luke, when they talk about casting out the demon gets cast out and wanders on the earth, and then 7 more come rushing in to take its place. Sin is like that. It just permeates, it sucks the life out of you, and changes things around. In the garden, we got the ability to make real choices. Real choices. Not a manipulation, but a real choice. And God holds all futures possible. So the choice you make might go this way, might go that way. Cain came in second in this offering derby, and God warned him to be careful of his response. I think that is great advice. We don't get what we want all the time. You know, maybe it's the job that you wanted, you didn't get, the raise you wanted, you didn't get, what else? The relationship you wanted, you didn't get. Pardon? Go ahead.
I was going to say the Powerball.
Oh! Somebody had to do it. I'm glad you did. Because living in the presence of God is like winning the lottery every day. We don't realize that showers of blessings, infinite. I mean, $1 billion, whatever it is, dollars. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. But we don't put that in terms of God's blessings. We get that every day. So what are you doing with that blessing? You're alive. You're breathing. You're upright. You're going. You can love your family and be loved by family. What is it that you're doing with your life? You've been showered with that gift. Thank you for bringing that up. There's a lot of chatter today. Too much sugar this morning, I guess. Joe's right. He's 2 rows behind him. I know you've been sleeping, but he's right there.
Chatter is good.
Oh my, okay. I've done it now.
You've opened up to that.
Well, and this is good. Why is it that we choose to do wrong instead of choosing to do right? Paul talks about that. Spirit's willing, the flesh is weak. I know what I need to do, but I just choose to do otherwise. Because we can do so. We can choose differently. Cain had a choice. And how did he respond to God's concern for him? Cain, you're in second place. You didn't get what you wanted. Be careful. And what does Cain do? He kills his brother. Yeah, like his brother's the problem here. Very strange, isn't it? Blame somebody else for your problems. What a novel idea is right. There it is. There's a tie-in with Cain and Abel and you and I. We don't take responsibility for our actions. We just blame somebody else. Right? We'll do it that way. You'll never be outside of God's presence. But God seems to be pretty arbitrary. And Cain was warned either in a dream or how is it that he was warned to not make the wrong choice. But even after he made the wrong choice, even after he committed the sin of murder, God did not leave him. But God marked him. Said, I don't want any part of anybody else's tribe killing him. Let him live with that. And go on to be a big city builder, Cain, and his offspring. Yeah, we are descendants of Cain. How do you explain God's working one place and not working in another? After you pray, after you reflect, how do you deal? And Ruth Ann mentioned that in her prayer. How do you deal with not getting what you want?
Patience.
Patience. Who said patience? That's good. Patience? Yes. Patience. Because God's understanding of the situation is infinitely times infinity greater than ours. And it takes a trust to understand that. That whatever happens, God has not abandoned you. God is still with you. And God is with you through to the other side, whatever that is. When we pray, so often we try to predict the outcome and we tell God how to do his business. Yeah, we want to give God advice. We want to be advisors. God doesn't need advisors. God needs followers. God needs brothers and sisters. Pardon?
You try to make trades with God.
Yeah, we treat it like a transaction. I'll do this, you give me this. Right? That is a very weird way to do things.
Especially with God.
Yes, especially with God. God is our heavenly creator, redeemer, sustainer, greatest lover. God wants what is best for us, and we seem to think we know.
That we can give him something he doesn't already have.
Well, what he doesn't have and desires is our praise. And our praise of God and what God is up to. In all circumstances. Hear this. In all circumstances. So whatever the outcome is with God. And it might seem hopeless. It might seem very difficult. And it probably is. But that advice that God gave Cain is the same advice for you and me. Be careful how you respond to this. Because in his case, it sealed his fate. Marked him for life. And the same happens to us. Obviously very appreciative of all the prayers and all the concern. To be in remission is great. But I also pray for those that aren't in remission. More so. I pray for those and their family members that suffer through horrendous diseases and losses of loved ones. And it's not, I don't say this lightly, it's not something that's trifling. It is for me it's very defining. God is with us here. God desires us to be home, heaven on earth. God desires us to be on a stroll with him. And the rest of it is his business. We put our trust in God and go on the walk. And there are insights to gain from the walk.
It takes time to get from where we are to where he is.
No, it doesn't. I think God is as close as our breathing in and out. Always. We might think that we can separate ourselves from God. Oh no. Oh no is right. You just can't. Even if you do the horrible things, and God is there present, desiring to jump the fence, whatever it is, to be with us, to be with you. Cain and Abel. Very deep story. It seems arbitrary, the way God would bless Abel and not Cain. But God has an insight that goes beyond what we can see or even think. And what we need to do is pray God's will and trust the outcome. And I think that's what Cain missed. Not that it matters, because it's a good lesson. Your choices are real. Your choices are real. They have an impact. They have a direction on your life. And God is with you even in those bad decisions. Because we all make them. Believe me, we all make them. What is God creating anew within you? I hope that agitates your dreams this next week, so we can come together and talk about the last being first. Cain was the elder, Abel the younger. Abel was accepted. Abram, 100 some odd years old, and Sarah, it's 95, whatever she was, having children. The impossible possible. David, the most insignificant of the brothers, the runt, chosen over all others. Joseph, the same way. Small things, seemingly insignificant, into large things. In Israel, small nation, insignificant, becoming a blessing to all nations. Let's enjoy the walk.